the Washington Wizards. We beam with pride.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to episode 6 of the Wizards Pulse podcast. I'm your host, Suge Knight Shyamalan, and I'm here with my co-host, Wanza.
Yo, we beam with pride. That's my favorite part of that intro song. Y'all mess with that? Yo, go hit up my man MacGyver Said Quad made that special wizard song for our podcast, man. That's the catchiest part right there. We beam with pride.
Yep. Welcome, Wanza. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Thanksgiving was a little while ago. It's been a minute since we had a pod, but we back for the people. I'm still a little full, to be honest. And so I'm glad, thankful, excited, and there's stuff to talk about today. Trying to tell you.
Now, quick question. How long did you eat the leftovers?
A little too long. Not going to lie to you. But here's the thing. I didn't get to the turkey on Thanksgiving. I know that's wild, but there was a lot of stuff. And we had the chicken, we had the veggie chicken, we had all kinds of sides. I filled up my plate and the turkey came out late. So what happens was after that, then we start making sandwiches, other kinds of meals. So it spread a little too long. I'm not gonna tell you how long, but just know I'll be all right. My stomach will survive.
By Saturday, I definitely ordered out.
Saturday, y'all can get a couple days.
Sunday, I did eat like kind of the last, but
the last bit.
Yeah, by Saturday, I had already ordered something for dinner that night. I was like, I ate leftovers for lunch. I said, let me order out this time and get some food.
Switch it up. I feel you. Sometimes you gotta do that, man. That Thanksgiving is good for a second.
Well, since we last spoke, the last episode that we had, the Washington Wizards defeated the Atlanta Hawks. I believe the title of that episode is "We Gotta Win."
Yeah, barely remember that.
yeah. It feels so long ago because I had so much optimism for the next game against the Indiana Pacers because let's be real, the Indiana Pacers' best players weren't playing.
Yeah,
Tyrese Halliburton is done for the year. And they themselves have also been struggling. And I'm like, yeah, man, this is the game. This is the day where we're going to go on a 2-game winning streak. Yes, I was wrong about that.
Humbled. That's what that was. But some of that song, I gotta admit, because I started calling out my OKC friends. I was like, yo, we coming for y'all. It's about to happen. We turning this around. And immediately went right back to where we were against the Pacers. Wasn't Pascal out too? I don't even think Siakam was playing.
I believe it. Let me double check as I look at the
he didn't have to. I know
box
that.
scores because honestly, man, it feels like
it was a minute ago.
So long.
It was a minute ago.
Pascal Siakam did play, led the team in scoring with 24 points, 11 rebounds, 2 steals.
Well, he didn't have to.
Mathurin had 20 points, 4 assists. TJ McConnell 14 points off the bench, and Isaiah Jackson 10 points off the bench. For the Washington Wizards, Alex R had 24 and 9.
Yeah.
One bright spot of that game.
That's it.
Chris Middleton had 12. And hold on. Talking about Chris Middleton, this is a great story I have here. On Twitter, I follow an individual. She is, I guess, I'm not going to say professional bettor, but does it quite a bit.
Okay.
Has a following on Twitter, very strong following, has a Discord. And of course, these individuals, they have moments where they make their picks. And please excuse me for that. They make their picks. And she had a bet that Chris Middleton would have a double-double. Even said, I feel like he's going to get a triple-double.
Oh, wait a minute.
But on my slip, I'm putting double-double.
Okay.
Someone chimed in and said, yeah, he doesn't get double-digit rebounds and assists often. She then followed up with, "Oh, so you just saying this because I'm a woman?" And that it was just like, all right,
Here
no
we
one's
go.
saying it because you're just a woman. That sounds like some insecurities that you have.
Yeah,
So then
yeah.
I kind of chimed in. I'm like, nah, it's not that. It's just
He
he's
doesn't
had
really.
2 double-doubles since he's been a Wizard.
Yeah,
One of them was last year,
yeah,
the last season, the previous season, and the next one was just the game
yeah.
against the Atlanta Hawks.
Doesn't
And
do it often.
I got a feeling. Okay.
All right.
I then go on Twitter later and I see a subtweet because like, oh, I know they probably happy he didn't get a double-double. And I'm like, no, we knew he wasn't getting a double-double. Like, that's not his game.
It's
like,
not a personal thing. It's just not his game.
Yeah, it's not because you're a woman. It's
Right.
because he does not get double-doubles.
It
Like,
just doesn't happen. I
but
hope
of
she didn't lose
course,
too much money.
when you show you're behind like that and you get embarrassed, then
Get
it's
embarrassed.
everybody else's fault. But anyways,
Yep.
Washington Wizards get smoked that game 119-86 in that game. When that game was happening, Wanza, what were your thoughts going through your mind?
Oh man, you know what it was? This is my problem. I still have this like eternal optimism. And I said to myself, at a minimum, we're gonna give them a good run. Like the Pacers are not good, right? Like we're gonna push them a little bit. Like we're gonna make this a fun game, and we barely competed. And it's the same story. It's the same story. I get us struggling against average to above average teams. But we're supposed to be competing against the below average teams. Isn't that the whole point
Exactly.
of being trash? Like if we got one win and you got 1 or 2 wins, surely it should be a competitive game. And we decided to not show up. Are we at the point where we're playing down? Is that what we're doing? Is that like, are we so nice that we're not even like, oh, it's the Pacers, we don't got to show up? I don't know what it is. We're gonna get a little bit more into that in a second, but yeah, it was just shaking my head. Disappointment. Here we go.
Yeah, man, I was definitely disappointed with that game, but the very next game against the Milwaukee Bucks, I'm not gonna lie, my expectation is Giannis is gonna go off because he actually didn't have a fantastic game during the season debut.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, he's gonna go off. Lost to the Pacers, about to lose a second game in a row, and the Wizards shocked me with a 129-126 victory over the Milwaukee Bucks. Now Giannis, and actually let me start with the Washington Wizards. The Washington Wizards were led in scoring by CJ McCollum, 28 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds, and a clutch step back 3 from the left wing
to put
them up in the crucial moments of the game. Marvin Bagley, who started in place of Alex Sard, 22 points, 8 rebounds on 11 for 16 from the field.
Crazy.
Chris Middleton added 15 points with some clutch baskets late, and Bilal Coulibaly with the exclamation point with a steal and dunk on Giannis to foul him out of the game.
Yes.
Man, that was impressive.
I loved it.
Bilal Coulibaly, Wadza, his defensive performance throughout the season. How do you feel about that?
Listen, when Bill is locked in, you know, they call him Bilal Alcatraz, right? Like he's got people in jail. When he is locked in, it's hard to stop. It's impressive. He looks like a top defender in the league, and it's not even a real debate when he's locked in like this. Now, his offense, I don't know. We'll see how that goes. For me, I've heard some comparisons. I see Bill's ceiling. Think Tayshaun Prince, but maybe a little bit more athletic. That's my hope for Bill at this point. Maybe a little bit less of a scorer, but somewhere around Tayshaun Prince, someone who could still be a starter because of the effect he has on some of the best players on the other team. And you saw it here. Like, all I want you to do is take advantage of the points that are available and be able to put the straps on anybody who you're guarding. And Bill has that capability. He hasn't even fully grown into it yet. And a lot of people are doubting him. I get it. The injuries got me worried too, because he got injured, I think, like soon after this, right? But if he can stay healthy, I think he has a serious role on this team. We just have to adjust our expectations. He's not the A guy. He's not the B guy. Probably he's not the C guy. But in terms of what he can offer this team, right now he's our only high-end defender on the wing. The other one is obviously Sarr in the post, but he's our best wing defender, and we don't got enough of those. So I'm excited about what Bill can become. And you saw the impact he had on that game, right? And people still sleep on him in terms of his athleticism, and that's why Giannis got caught. And what happened? As soon as we belt to ass with Giannis and the Bucks, rumors start coming out. Giannis wants to leave. Bucks are mad. That is what I call a Wizards real win right there. When we beat y'all and you start panicking and coaches start wondering about their jobs, that means we did our job. So I'm hype about that. Let the chaos begin for other teams.
Talking about Giannis, we'll talk about that later. Another topic about Giannis, we'll talk about that later in this episode.
Yes, sir.
But the Washington Wizards then went on a 3-game losing streak to the Philadelphia Sixers, 121-102.
Crushed.
The Boston Celtics, 146-101.
Wow.
And the Atlanta Hawks, 131-116.
Here we go.
3-game losing streak to give the Wizards a grand record of 3-19 through the NBA Emirates Cup. And the NBA Emirates Cup is now in the, I believe, quarterfinals stage. I believe the Western Conference quarterfinals is going on tonight.
OKC just crushed.
Oh man, beat them ridiculously.
Weren't even trying. By the way, I was watching that game. They were literally not trying. They're going to be a problem. They're going to be a problem for a long time. The
Washington Wizards, though, have some issues going on. Cam Whitmore. Wanza, please inform the community what is going on with Cam Whitmore.
You see, I got to take a sip of water to fully get into this. So here is, from my understanding and the reporting that I'm hearing, plus also interviews that I saw myself as well, Cam Whitmore he started off the season a bit rough. And part of the issue, we talked about it, others have talked about it, his style of game comes off as a little selfish, a little tunnel vision, just gets the ball, wants to barrel down the lane, right? And over time, we saw him starting to buy into the offense as a whole and become a little bit more active on defense, which is still not his strong suit. Now, that's how it started. That's how it continued. But as of late, the last maybe 3 or 4 games, he reverted back from my observation, from the observation of others. He reverted back and more so became more of a liability on defense. Now, what is odd is we have a number of liabilities on defense. Is he the worst? I'll leave that up to some of the folks who are really going to break down all the film for you to decide. But what we know is he's not good. Now, what was interesting is he literally, in a game where we were out of our 2 best defenders and our 2 best shooters in Trey and Corey, in a game where we were down 4 to 5 players, right? Players who really play. Cam not only got very little minutes, he did not get any minutes. Cam was officially benched in this last game. And so, of course, we all got questions. That's weird. Like, players who have contributed typically don't get benched on this team in a Keefe sort of, administration, so we'll call it, right? So the questions after the game were, Keefe, what is happening? We needed Cam. Why was Cam benched? And Keefe's response was sharper than usual. Keefe's a nice guy. Keeps it nice, keeps it friendly, doesn't get too hyped more, often. And so Keefe's response was specifically, we have standards here in the Wizards organization. And Cam Whitmore did not reach the standards that we have. People asked and reporters pushed for details. He said, we're keeping this all in house. But essentially, he alluded to the standards maybe not being met also in practice. Now, that's important, in practice. Now, as soon as he said that, rumors started to spread. People are saying, did Cam not go to practice? Did Cam not showing up? Then Wizards media comes out, the media, and says, no, that's not true. Cam did miss a practice due to an illness, but it's not like he's not going to practice. Okay. Now, my response is, well, let's go, Keefe. You know what? I like this. If we talk about standards on a 3-21 team, okay. You know what I'm saying? 3-19 team. Let's have some standards. I like it. Let's have some discipline. And one thing we know is Cam needs a little bit of discipline to get him to get back to where it is that we want him to be. So I was hyping Keefe up. You know what? Go for it, bro. Go ahead and let folks know you tired of the games. And as he's still learning to coach, and I'm not sure if that's a good thing at this point, but as he's still learning to coach, he is maybe bringing around a little bit more discipline. And I think this team desperately needs some discipline, right? So I was hyping him up, maybe some others were too. Now, the very next day, as this saga maybe comes to an end, I don't know. I think it might be just beginning for real. But the very next day, Keefe comes out because they interviewed again after a practice and literally says, because they asked him for a follow-up, actually, Cam did nothing wrong, and he was not benched necessarily as a not like a punishment, but as like a way of encouraging him to be better. He was what Keefe said was actually, we just wanted to try something different and allow Cam to watch, and we just felt like switching it up. We wanted some new players out there. Now we got a problem because less than 24 hours before, you said specifically Cam was benched for not holding to the standards of the Washington Wizards, whatever that means. Now it's like he literally said Cam did nothing wrong. And we just wanted him to watch others, and we wanted to switch it up. We wanted to get some new players out there trying different schemes or whatever it is. What is happening? Can someone please tell me? Because now we're getting a little bit out of control here. This is a really easy thing to be on message about, because you're the one that made the decision, Keefe, right? You're the one that made the decision, coach. Why are you flip-flopping in 24 hours? And it's literally like a 180, not even like actually what I meant was, this is a 180. What is going on, bro? Someone got to please explain this to me, because now I can take some losing because we are, rebuilding. We don't got a lot of good players. I get that. What I won't stand is looking like a clown organization, because I know what that looks like. I know exactly what that looks like. And that is what we were told by Winger, by Dawkins, and by Keefe would not happen. And so now I have a problem because none of this is making sense. Why are you going back and forth? And most importantly, this is going to have a bad impact on the locker room. They're confused too. Wait a second. What are the rules here? What are the standards? You have to be clear and consistent as a leader. And Keefe is not living up to that part of his job.
Man, oh man. So hearing that, and as a Wizards fan,
yeah,
should Keefe be on the hot seat?
That's a fair question. That's a fair question. My thought is, it doesn't make sense to do an in-season firing at this point. Right? If it gets worse and less professional, because there's no excuse. You can lose and still be professional. If it gets worse and less professional, we got to have a conversation. We got to start having a conversation. It's already been a little iffy about, like, is he going to make it to next year or whatever? And I get it. A lot of people, as soon as we start talking bad about Keefe, KD likes him. Russ likes him. Everyone else likes him. But what people forget is he, just like Wes, right, is a really good assistant coach. Keefe is a teacher, and I respect him for that. Teaching is like 1/8 of being a coach. And I don't know if is he a motivator? I don't know. Right? Is he someone that you're scared to disappoint? Doesn't seem like it. Is he a leader? I don't know. It's not clear to me because I'm confused here. So I think it's fair for us to start having that conversation, especially if this starts to descend into clownery, into foolishness, which we're on the precipice of. We're not there yet, but we're on the precipice of. I don't know. What you think? Am I doing too much, Jeremy? Let me know. What you think?
I mean, the team is just bad, and we knew that we were going to lose regardless of whoever this head coach is.
Mm-hmm.
However, if we're having a situation where you're coming out and making definitive statements, or we think definitive statements about players, and then you do a 180 in 24 hours about the situation.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess that could be a directive from the front office to get this straight, but it's not a good look, man. It's definitely not a good look. It also seems like you really don't have control of the team, because who says that if something else comes up later this year that the players will fall in line with you instead of the front office? Like, you know, if there's some sort of disagreement in something, they may just go straight to the front office. So that is cause for concern. Now, what coach would want to come here knowing that, you know, the front office kind of could do these things and undermine their own coach? I don't know, man. I don't know who would come here for that.
Why would you? It doesn't make any sense. So our options are: Keefe changed his mind in the middle of the night and decided to give us a different story. Maybe he was afraid he hurt Cam's feelings. I don't know. Or, like you're saying, it came down from on high, where Dawkins hit him on the walkie-talkie. It was like, bro, we can't have this. Now, I don't know why Dawkins would do that, but he decided, you know, maybe Dawkins. And if that's the case, that's a bad look as well, because like you just said, that now our GM is undermining coaches, like publicly, almost are forcing them to say that he's undermining them publicly. So we can't attract people if that's the case. Now, I don't want to be too hyperbolic. This is just like, it's not nothing. This is like a moderate something, right? It's a moderate something where I'm concerned. It's not a 5-alarm fire just yet, but you are setting the foundation for one. This is a bunch of tinder, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is a bunch of flammable pieces that we're placing around, and we're soaking them with gas. We don't gotta light it, but the light is right there. And I am begging y'all, please, all of this can be forgiven if you got a decent team. If you got no wins, you see how much time we're spending on this right now? Because we don't win. So I got to spend 10 minutes talking about these details of how crazy you look from the outside. If you don't got any wins, this is all we're going to talk about.
That is true.
You know what I'm saying? True. Like, you know, Keefe has a regular radio spot on the Junkies, and this is where I'm actually not a fan. We should talk about that at some point. Not a fan at all. But, you know, Keefe has a spot with them, and that's where he was, you know, talking about this. And their job is to talk about team-related things, and they're going to talk about the drama if there are 0 wins to discuss. So it's not a good position. I don't know, man. I don't know. Something they need to tighten up. We don't got time or space for this kind of stuff.
Yeah, talking about the Junkies, I mean, I know it's blasphemy to even talk bad about the Junkies.
It really feels like it.
Yes. But I mean,
not good.
They're just not my cup of tea for sure.
Not at all.
But anyways, yeah, one of our biggest concerns that we seem to always harp on so far through 5 episodes, and now episode 6, is team defense. You wanted to discuss the team defense. Where I guess I want to ask you, what are your thoughts on that? What is the angle today on the team defense?
Yeah, it's You know what? I'm at a loss for words because it's so confusing to me. Now, let's set the table. Let's just set it real quick. One, the team is not good. We knew the team would not be good from 6 months ago. We said this coming year, we're not going to be good. We are not only intentionally tanking, but with the players that we have drafted, no one has proven to be a game changer, lifesaver just yet. Right? We got hopes for Sar, but Sar can drop 25 and 10 and we could still lose. It's just we need more, right? So we're all holding our breath for some players in the draft and all this kind of stuff. But the reality is we're not good, and that's okay. We understood that. But now the question is, how bad should we be? Now, I'm of the belief if you plan on, because everyone said we're winning less than 15 games this year. That's what like nearly everybody said, except for me. I'm not going to tell you what our record was. Feel free to go back to or the one that I predicted. If you go back to our first episode, it might be on there. We need to go back and delete that if you could kindly. But we're not going to win a lot of games. Okay, how bad should we be? And I think people were freaking out. I heard calls for Keefe's job at game 8 and 9 and people demanding stuff. We were injured and we're not good. I get all of that. But the question now is that an excuse to not have a defense that is not like NBA ready? Because that's what it feels like. It feels like we don't run an NBA level defense, which I think is a real problem. Now, I think we have enough capable defenders to give people a run. You know what I'm saying? What I mean by that is to challenge them a little bit, right? We should be losing by 10 to 15 every night, right? Not 25 to 40. That's crazy, right? That shows lack of effort. And I think we have players that can show more effort. So when there's a lack of effort, my first thought is, why aren't they motivated to play hard? Somebody tell me. I don't know. My only job is to assume that the motivator on the team is not motivating folks. That or the scheme is too hard. That or the players are too slow. That or people are ignoring you and don't take you seriously. Somebody tell me. I'm not fully sure. But what I know is there's consistent defensive lapses. You can see it. You can see players going like, "Dang, I knew I should have rotated. Dang, why didn't I jump out to the wing? Dang, I know I should be at the elbow." You can see that like their thought process, but why is everyone not good at it? Even Sar, who's a naturally good defender, his defense is because of his natural skills. I don't think that's from anything that we've taught him, if I'm being honest. I think he's naturally progressing.
I mean, he's 6'11", 7 feet. So, you know, there's some of that you're just that big. So
exactly. And a supreme athlete.
Kind of help, help a little bit.
Exactly. So with him being out, we gotta, ease off the gas a little bit. The defense is gonna suck even more with him being out. I get that. But that's still not an excuse for players like Bub to be confused all the time. So you're telling me we need 10 Bilals out here to compete as a bad team? I don't know if that's realistic. Even Key's defense has taken a step back, right? I think some of the fouls have gotten into his head a little bit, and now he's so worried. Now, he was fouling a lot. For a while, I was like, dang, you got like a foul fetish? Like, what is this thing? You got to get fouled out every other game? Dog, this is weird. Yeah. And he's slowed down with that, but his defense is slowed down too. He's still trying to find that balance. But there's no excuse to be historically bad. And that's where we are right now. So that's where I'm at with the defense. I don't know, honestly, what the like next step should be. I do know there's a defensive coordinator, as they call them now. The NBA teams are calling them now. I'm not sure who that is. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not sure if it's Vanderpool or one of the others, but they're not doing their job. I'll tell you that right now. Whoever it is, somebody needs to step up.
Yep. Before we move on to our next segment, just want to remind you all to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. So you can be up to date to all of our video content when available. Also, follow us on all major social media platforms, including Facebook, Instagram, Threads, and X, formerly known as Twitter,
Yeah.
at The Wizards Pulse. And talking about a pulse, we have several pulses
Heck
that came
yeah.
through the voicemail. Just want to remind you all, if you want to be featured on a future episode, call the Wizards Pulse podcast at 202-734-5293. That's 202-734-5293. Wanza, let me know if you're ready for that.
I am ready. I'm excited. We got 3 pulses by 3 complete strangers, I am sure. And we're going to hear exactly what they got to say. Like Jeremy just said, feel free. Anyone else interested? This podcast is for the fans. Shout out to Vinny Serrato. For the fans, I need you all to lock in. I know that's a deep pull right there.
You got to be a DMV person to understand that reference.
Yeah. I need y'all to lock in. We want more of you all on this. You're going to get tired of hearing me. You're going to get tired of hearing Jeremy. We want to hear you all. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and jerry-rig this like we've done in the past.
No problem.
We're going to get some money one day when y'all start listening, right? It's going to be fancy. Until then, we're going to jerry-rig this, and let's see what our first pulse, we're going to call these pulse checks. Here's our first one. All right, it's about to start. Here we go. Give it a second.
I'll make sure.
Can you hear that?
Not really. But
give me a second.
While you get that fixed, well, just like I said, man, we really appreciate those who submitted several voicemails.
Definitely.
If you want to be featured on a future episode, please feel free to call us at any time. I'm going to put up the number one more time. It is 202-734-5293. That's 202-734-5293. Wanza,
yes,
let me know if you're ready.
Let's go. We're going to get another one. Give me a quick second. Give me like 10 more seconds, Jeremy. We about to get it up, get the speaker popping. We good, though. We good. Give me a quick second.
No problem.
And I want to put an apology out to Key. We also don't kink shame. So, if fouls are your thing, Keyshawn, I apologize. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to kink shame.
We want to be a total inclusive community.
That's it. That's all we about, man. That's all we about. And so we just want to make sure that we good. I had to update this iPhone, and they have switched all the controls around. And so we're going to get this up. We're going to get this up in a second. And why don't we push this to the just give me a few extra seconds here. And in the meantime, there were some other quick things I had some thoughts on, if you don't mind. So I'm gonna just see if I can multitask here.
Oh, no, do that.
Quick thing I need to put out there for our Wizards fans. I am sick of the Denny stands.
Oh,
enough. I am drawing the line. You've gone too far. Now listen, I get it. I didn't love the trade at the time. I thought it didn't make a lot of sense. Oh, you liked it? Okay.
Oh, I loved it. Get Denny out of here, man.
Which I get. I didn't love it at the time. I thought he was still young and was still on the way up. And he was. However, what this means is that Dawkins did not like him. It just is what it is. He didn't like his game. He didn't like what he saw and felt like someone perhaps like Bub could be better. The comparison doesn't look good right now. I get it. But it's been 2 years. We got to let it go. I am so tired of Wizards fans posting Denny stats every single game. Funny thing is, the Blazers are trash. They're not even good. Right? Better than us, but they're not even good. But, come on. We got to stop talking about this. Tell me what you're thinking, Jeremy. Am I off with this?
Denny Avdia, and I don't know. Look, it may not even be him, but all the draft experts said he's supposed to be baby Luka.
Yeah.
Had the size, had the skill set, can pass, can dribble, can score
Do
in
it
the
all.
ISO, and we saw none of that for the years he was here. And not only did that happen, I was a huge fan of Rui Hachimura when he was at Gonzaga, and we got the chance to draft him. What do the Wizards do? They trade Rui Hachimura to give Denny more opportunities because they played the same position. Okay, you got the opportunities, and you had what we call, and I can't even take credit for this. I have a friend, aka CEO Trish, who's come up with this phrase, area code stats, where your stat lines sound like an area code.
Oh,
and guess what? He had a lot of area code nights. And then I have another friend who by the name of Dane Irvin who said, oh, that guy has tour dates when it comes to his free throw shot attempts. And it's like, yeah, you know what?
good.
Denny had quite a few of those. He had some 2 for 11s.
Yeah.
You know, he had some January 13th, you know, that happened throughout his stint as a Washington Wizard.
It did.
Okay, he's playing well now. All right, good for him. He probably had to get that slap in the face to then, or that demotion, or whatever you want to call it, to motivate him to become the player he is. But he was not becoming that player here. He had all the opportunities to become that player. And we can't, as bad as the franchise is, we can't sit here and say it was the franchise that was holding him back. He was holding himself back. So, no, I don't want to hear any of that. Oh, did you see Denny tonight? Right. We could have had him. Imagine if he was here. Like,
man. Yeah, I'm with you. Now, listen, I get hype off a player who shows potential. When he was, hitting us with the, what do he call himself? A turbo? You know what I'm saying? I was calling him Passover Pippin. You know what I'm saying? Like, I felt like Denny was going to change the game. And he didn't quite. And he has exceeded a lot of expectations, and that's cool. But we gotta move on. We gotta move on. You know what I'm saying? And so it's time to let it go. And speaking of moving on, I got these pulses ready. Apologize about technical difficulties. We are ready and locked in. I'm about to play them for you so we can start to hear what the rest of the fans got to say about this team right here. Are we ready? All right, here we go. 3, 2, and 1. All right, and
my name is Michael Drakes. I'm from the Washington, D.C. area. Big up to Juwan and Jeremy on the show. Wizard Talks.
You.
Big Wizards fan. I'm not going to hold you. I'm a long-time fan, but, it's been tough this season. Even tougher to watch. But I can say, as of late, I'm very impressed how we've won the last 7 of 8 games. And I hope the organization, the team itself, keeps continuing to work and try to make that winning more consistent. Again, pick up the show and don't keep doing your thing.
All right, that was one right there. Appreciate that.
Now,
you wanna?
We're gonna move on from that one. I greatly appreciated that.
Yes, sir.
Individual Michael who called in, greatly appreciated. And also, just because you call in once doesn't mean you got to stop calling.
Hey,
so if something ever comes across your mind about the Washington Wizards, and I just took the number down for those watching
put that back up.
The audio format. I'm gonna put the number back up 202-734-5293. Let's so greatly appreciate that you chimed in.
Yep.
Let's get to our next pulse. Are you ready?
All right, let's get it. 3, 2, and 1. All right, here we go.
Yeah, this is Wild Lady. My question is, with the Wizards being so bad this year, should we, a lot of fans would like the Wizards to tank, but, the NBA does not work like the NFL, so if we tank, there is no guarantee we get a top 3 pick. The fact we see that last draft, we were pretty much screwed. And so do you think that we should make some substantial trades by the trade deadline and try to make this team competitive? Or do you think we need to start preparing for the draft? And if we do go to the draft, what's the player that you hope on your wish list, maybe top 3, that you would like to see in a Wizards uniform next year?
Great question. Should we, because the draft lottery is not a given for the worst team, or the
Right.
number 1 overall pick is not a given for the worst overall team.
Unfortunately.
Should we try to actually become good and competitive? At this point, I don't necessarily care about the wins and losses. I am more looking for progression. And I understand progression sometimes requires us to win, because I do believe if a team or a group of players only know losing, i.e. the Philadelphia 76ers, we trust the process. When they finally put things together, they ultimately will lose. They have a losing or a loser mentality. Joel Embiid is a loser to me. I don't care that he's won. I don't care that he's won an MVP. He is a loser. Ben Simmons, when the going got tough, he became a loser, and he is now, I believe, out of the league right now. They have got Markelle Fultz for whatever reason. Injury.
Weird shot.
However the injury happened, we have rumors of how that happened, whether it's a trainer, whether it's falling off of a motorcycle, whatever the reason. Could not persevere from that and still is a shell of what we expected him to be.
Yeah.
You know, Jahlil Okafor not in the league anymore for whatever reason. Dario Saric is floating around. Like, the process was a failure. And what I don't want for the Wizards is this situation to be a failure, because they just don't know how to be good. They don't know how. They're not learning to win. I think sometimes, yes, we may need to try and win games, and that will help these young guys progress and then say, hey, okay, yeah, we may be the worst team in the league, but we had a night where it's like, you know what? We're putting these things together.
Yeah.
We might go on a 3-game winning streak. That doesn't hurt me. That's actually cool. Because at the end of the day, like we've said, getting the number 1 overall pick is not guaranteed for the worst team.
Nope.
You know? And you know what? I believe the draft lottery is also rigged. But hey, we'll talk about that another day.
Yeah.
But and you know, so yeah, I don't want to just be losing and then we get the 10th overall pick and it's like, whoa.
What? What?
So what I do want is progression from the young guys. And if we lose while progressing, cool. If we win while progressing, great. But what I don't want is just a loser mentality that really impacts the young guys. Now, the second question was who, I guess, or the direction we would like to go for when it comes into the draft. When it comes to the draft, Wanza, who are you, I guess, or the type, not necessarily the player, but what type of player are you looking for?
Yeah. I'm slowly starting to do my draft, analysis. It's not my expertise, but I have a lot of thoughts on a lot of different players. In terms of type, first, let's say the super obvious. We need an A player. We need a winner. We need a star. And there are no guarantees. No matter how hyped somebody is coming out, we don't know for certain. But I am begging, please. Everyone is saying 2026 is supposed to be the draft that changes everything. So it's supposed to be deeper than any other draft people have seen. Jay Billis has said it. Other people have said it. It's supposed to be that serious. So first thing, obvious off the top, we need a star. Now, from what I'm seeing, those top 3, Darren Peterson and Boozer and AJ Dabansa, these guys look great. They look great. Right now, I'm obviously all about best player available, of course. But if you asking me, what is this, early December, we still got like 6 months to figure some stuff out. I'm leaning a little bit towards Boozer. And the reason is, or let me just say a big man, right? The reason is I see a shift in the league away from the evil empire of the Warriors and small ball and all those types of things to embracing the big man a lot more. And if we had perhaps a tag team, twin towers, double bigs who we could focus this offense around, and these aren't just any bigs. I'm talking about versatile, bigs who can lead the break, who can run out to the top of the key, who can run back, who can outrun players on the pick and roll, then you have a team interior that is really hard to stop, especially if one of them excels at rebounding and post work and those types of things. This could be a compliment to SAR, right? And so if we could, maybe work something out, that's what I'm leaning to right now. You can't, now it's hard to say no to a star guard. It's hard to say no to baby KG, is what I call AJ. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to say no to those guys. But gun to my head, that's what I'm leaning towards right now. What you think, Jeremy?
When it comes to the type of player, I would really, well, before I even get to that, I guess if we end up in the top 3, I would want one of those 3 guys that you mentioned.
Yeah.
And 2 of them specifically. One of them we'll talk about in a future episode. But
all right.
2 of them, I would definitely wouldn't mind. But if we're not in the top 3, then look, man, I'm either want a center who can play, like you said, alongside SAR, and we can have a form of the Twin Towers, where SAR can maybe move down to the 4, and whoever we draft can be a center. I don't even know who that individual is.
Yeah.
Gotta watch more basketball. I don't even know if that individual is going to be good enough for us to draft, in the top 5, 10, but whatever.
Yeah.
That's the type of player I would like. Also, I would like an actual point guard.
Please.
Not a 2 guard that's short, so we got to put him at the point guard.
Right.
Not a what people say is a combo guard. Not a lead guard. I want a point guard. Someone who's going to orchestrate and run the offense, get everyone involved, and when necessary, that's when they need to score. I need, and it sounds so cliche, I need an extension of a coach, whether that coach is Brian Keefe or Sam Cassell, or or Taylor Jenkins, someone else. I need an extension of the coach also. So that's the type of player I would like. But like I said, if it's one of the 3 guys, if we're in the top 3 and it's one of them that you mentioned, okay, yes, you got to take them. And then we kind of figure out the rest from there. Sorry for not being prepared. I know we have the Wizards pick, but I don't know if we have an opportunity to get an additional pick in the first round. But if not, then hey, somebody in the second round that you believe can still contribute and be the future. Because we know the one thing with second round picks, contracts are guaranteed. We see second round picks not make the team. We see second round picks by their second year, they're already off the team. If we're going to draft someone, we need players that's going to be here.
Please.
We need pieces that's going to be here.
Please.
So like I said, just to wrap it up, if it's one of the 3 guys, cool. One of the 3 of the main guys, Dembinska, Boozer, and Peterson, okay, you got to take them. If not, a center or a point guard.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
100% agree. 100% agree. And I'd be open to even a point guard from free agency. No matter what, we need someone who knows how to orchestrate before we start the next year. Guaranteed. You know what I'm saying? We got time for the last pulse, Johnny? All right, here we go. And 3, 2, 1. Okay, hold up. Just give it a second. Here we go. 3.
Hey, this is Seth from here, Washington, D.C. Just trying to understand what's up with the Wizards franchise, man. We haven't won maybe since, 2017, 2018. We're getting these players in. They're not doing nothing for us. As soon as they get traded and go to these other teams, all of a sudden, they team role players. Their teams are making it to the playoffs. What's our franchise doing wrong?
Man, straight to the point. Thank you, Seth, for leaving that voicemail.
Good luck.
Well, I'll be honest. We had Ernie Grunfeld for a while. which is so weird because he was at one point the longest tenured
He was
general manager in the NBA.
Wasn't it
at
like
one
23
point.
years? It was like it's just
Well, with us, it was 17, I believe.
17.
I think it
Too
was
long.
17 with us.
16 too long.
Then we thought things were better when we got Tommy Shepard and realized, oh yeah, you're just like Ernie Grunman.
Ernie Disciple. Ernie Disciple.
We should have known this too.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're on to Will Dawkins and Michael Winger and that crew. Things are still fresh here with them.
Yeah.
But they got to make some sort of directions. We got to get on the right course. Like,
Need
at some
to.
point. As for the question about how come players leave, well, some of them do go to better situations. Roy Hachimura to the Lakers is definitely someone that stands out. At one point, this was looking like really a lot better situation, but Daniel Gafford being traded to the Mavericks, they have their own situation that we've spoken about, and just that's been on the topic of conversation of NBA fans all across the world. But he was definitely someone that played pretty well after leaving. Kristaps Porzingis wins the finals with the Celtics, but it's just a better situation.
Yeah.
And to be honest, the Celtics weren't probably going to be interested with them if it wasn't for his rehabilitation with the Washington.
With us. Yeah.
Yeah. Because
exactly.
It was looking kind of bad when he left the Mavericks. And I just think sometimes some situations are just better than the Washington Wizards. Denny Avdia may have gotten better as a player, but I don't think there's anything specific to the Washington Wizards that made them not succeed. It's funny, people before, especially Daniel Gafford, before he was traded, he was being spoken about by non-Wizards fans about how well he was playing. So, we got to remember that about the Washington Wizards.
Yeah, it's hard to argue with that. Like, the reality is a lot of this is bad luck. But in addition to that, we did not help ourselves. I think the owner plays a role in a lot of his early, 25 years, felt like at least, of bad management and encouraging bad general management that set us back. And the problem is, with all of that, we were trying to win. And there were little spouts, as Seth said, 17 and 07 and you know what I'm saying? I don't know, like 1970 something with the championship. You know what I'm saying? Like there were little blips on the radar for sure, but those were really in spite of our organization is what it feels like. And so we had so much losing, and we bring in a new team now, same owner, but a new team of general managers and a president and all this kind of stuff. And what they first said was, I know y'all lost a lot, but for us to win, we got to lose a little bit more. And for those of us watching, it's still losing. You know what I'm saying? It's still a lot of losing. And we're hoping that there's hope on the horizon. We see players who have, some blips on the radar themselves, and fingers crossed that they could turn into something special. Because we need something special. We want to build something long lasting. Like, OKC, it's getting a little ridiculous. Like, they're really getting a little greedy at this point. They got the Clippers pick. They are deep beyond measure. It doesn't even make sense. They got starters coming off the bench. You know what I'm saying? Like, but they built it. Now, they had some help, the PG trade and some other stuff that really, sort of got them ahead, starting off the race like 5 steps ahead. And we're starting 5 steps behind. You know what I'm saying? Did not get enough for Beal, but that was all we could get. Didn't get enough for KP, Porzingis, but that was all we could get. So it's been tough resetting the roster from the ground up and trying to heal ourselves from the past mistakes. And starting from zero means you start with a lot of losses. And what we just have to do is pray that they're about to turn it around. The good news is this is the most sort of like, like distant win that I could see in terms of positivity. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could see it on the horizon. I could see, okay, I could see this working. This makes sense generally. I get the logic generally. You know what I'm saying? Like I could see some wins on the horizon. We're almost there. Will we get there? We'll see. But as Wizards fans, we know losing, and it's hard to understand anything else if that's all you've seen.
Real quick, going around the NBA real quick, we mentioned Giannis Antetokounmpo, and what the Washington Wizards did to Giannis Antetokounmpo. How after beating the Bucks, you started hearing rumblings about him wanting to be traded. What's his name? Brian Windhorst was speaking at I believe it was on a radio station in Cleveland, Ohio, I believe. Said that, yeah, man, Giannis has already asked for a trade, and he's been asking for a while. And then later that day, of course, Shams Charania says, yeah, there's been talks about wanting to be traded. Giannis then gets into the game. In the very first quarter, before the first TV timeout, he collapses, points to his calf. And I'm not going to lie, I don't want to question the injury, but it was one of the most flukish ways to fall down. So that's all I'm going to say. He went down with a calf strain and is now going to be out for, I believe, 4 to 6 weeks.
Non-contact.
Non-contact. And there's still rumors that even with the calf strain that, hey, he is on the trade block. So that has happened in the NBA. Also, LeBron James's consecutive 10-plus point streak ended in Toronto last Thursday. The previous game, when they were playing in LA versus the Suns, you could tell he was really hunting for the 10 points. Before I get to the streak ending, are you in the group of fans that felt like LeBron chasing that 10th point to keep the streak alive? Do you think that's a bad thing?
I wouldn't call it a bad thing. What is bad is looking pressed about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want you looking like you're chasing it. I'm not mad at you wanting it. Now, after the game, he downplayed it completely, said, who cares? We won the game. And yeah, winning's important for sure, but you're not winning a ring this year, bro. And you're on the way out as well. So I get why keeping some records would make a difference to him too. So I know it means something. LeBron has always been super conscious about how people view him. I know it means something. I don't want you looking pressed about it, because that just looks sort of childish. You know what I'm saying? To be begging for this 10 points or to be, looking crazy, running around trying to get it. So I'm not mad at a player, ever going for that kind of thing if you're not hurting your team. But you got to find a way to be chill about it. Like, you got to be pressed about your 10 points in the first half. That's where you put in your work so that you could be chill later on. So I'm sort of like in the middle about that.
I don't have a problem with him wanting to keep that streak going. They said the last time he hadn't scored 10 points, like President Bush was still in office. I don't think Jay-Z and Beyonce might have been married yet or something like that. We didn't have the iPhone hadn't come out yet, and things like that.
It was a simpler time, man.
It's a great thing. I just thought it was funny that we all noticed, okay, they're getting blown out by the Suns. He's still in the game, and you could just see he's trying to get it. And then as soon as he gets the points, then it's like, I'm out the game. So it's just funny seeing that happen. But I'm not upset it happened. I was shocked that the very next game in Toronto, Austin Reeves is balling that game. But
he's really good.
LeBron went 4 for 17. But I was definitely shocked that when LeBron got the ball on that last possession, tie game, I said, before it happened, I said in my head, oh, he's going to shoot the ball, because if he makes it, he obviously gets the 10 points and they win the game. If he misses it, they go to overtime. He has 5 more minutes to get the 10
to get
points.
More points.
And he really did shock me by doing the right thing, the right basketball thing. by dumping it off to the corner to Rui Hachimura.
Yeah.
And Hachimura hits the 3, they win the game.
Yeah. That was impressive. I don't know if I would have did that. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know if I would have been the one to actually pass that. You know what I'm saying? If I had the opportunity in overtime to still get my points. But, shout out to him. I think LeBron has been known generally to make the right plays in his career. So that was impressive. A mature move. Streak had to end at some point. You know what I'm saying? So why not when you're in your 40s? Why not? You know what I'm saying? So.
All right. Before we get out of here, just want to make sure you all like and subscribe to the podcast or
please do
our
that.
YouTube channel.
Please
for
do
all
that.
Of our video content. Also, follow us on all our major social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, and X, formerly known as Twitter.
Heck yeah.
At the Wizards Pulse. And if you want to be featured on the show, call our Wizards Pulse podcast at 202-734-5293. That's 202-734-5293. Wanza.
Yep.
Thank you for everything. Before we get out of here, do you have any last thoughts?
Two last thoughts. One, bring CP home. Come to DC, CP. I am on that train. I want Chris Paul here. End your career like a star that you are.
We actually didn't even. I forgot about that. Yeah, Chris Paul was released by the Los Angeles Clippers. He is now a free agent. Mind you, just I guess a couple weeks prior, he had announced this is his last season. So looks like he's still trying to find a team, but he wants to still end it, I guess, on his terms.
Right. We'll see if that happens. And lastly, if you're on YouTube and you were making fun of my chair not working, I hate you and I'm mad at you too. So, it's okay. I get it. Please, I apologize. This chair is just doing what I'm gonna do it standing up next time. That's how committed I am to this. You know what I'm saying? But nah, it's all good. It's all good. We still pushing through. That's what we do here at the Wizards Pulse. Push through. Push through.
All right, Wanza, thank you for everything you do. Until next time, Wizards Pulse. Peace.
Peace.
We're soaring high like spells in the air. Gee whiz is dancing. We don't have a care from downtown Thunder to the paint bag light. The Washington Wizards, weeping with pride.